My 27M FIL 59M led a smear campaign against me and came between me and my wife 29F. I'm lost. How do I forge forward? Posted by you SharkEva. My 27M wife 29F and I aren't in a good place. It's not a fun feeling. I feel context is important here. We're college sweethearts married for 6 years and have a daughter 4F. Our constant hurdle is family. It's like having to validate our relationship. I always thought my wife was worth it though. I haven't felt for anyone else the way I do about her. My wife's family is very old school. They're conservative in their beliefs and values. My FIL 59M is treated as the captain and looked to as the head. My relationship with him was never smooth, not for my lack of trying. Him putting up with me only came after my daughter. I don't believe he's ever thought I was good enough for his daughter. I wasn't his first choice or in his top 5. I don't share their gated community or fancy school's background. My father-in-law always had some backhanded remark about my upbringing. During a family gathering at my in-laws last Christmas, my father-in-law's iPad went missing. He blew a fuse and accused me of stealing it. His reasoning was there was a period of time I was alone in the house. I was never actually alone in the house. I was helping my mother-in-law 58 degrees Fahrenheit in the kitchen because people were kicking back their feet while she was slaving away for a big family. There was no reasoning with him. He called the police and told the officers how a real man would own up when caught. But I was never taught to be a man. I was raised in a household of women. My FIL once said only a man can raise a boy into a man. I spoke up for myself during his rantings. The whole situation was humiliating, but I had nothing to hide. The officers had to de-escalate and stood around until everyone went their separate ways. My father-in-law did a smear campaign on social media, accusing me of theft and saying how I wasn't family. It impacted my life. I lost a job opportunity because his post came up in the vetting process. Essentially, I was shunned from the family. Some didn't agree with my FIL, but they stayed out of it. I was no longer welcomed on my in-laws' property unless I confessed and apologized. My wife still attended everything without me and took our daughter with her, even on New Year's Eve. I wanted to spend it with them, but she chose to appease her dad and keep tradition. During all of my FIL's accusations, my wife didn't support me. She told me to just apologize. She said I was being stubborn. It wasn't about apologizing. My FIL wanted me to beg. I'm not getting on my knees for something I didn't do. My wife said she was trying to keep the peace. Once my father-in-law badmouthed me around our daughter, and my wife claimed she didn't hear it. I don't believe she would have done anything either way. Our daughter kept me afloat. I put my foot down on her attending gatherings after the badmouthing. My wife accused me of escalating. I felt my FIL tried to influence my child against me. My move was for boundaries. I wasn't asking my wife to cut off her dad. I just wanted her to be there for me as my partner and best friend. She abandoned me. I had more support from my mother-in-law and sister-in-law 35F than from her. We fought a lot. My wife said she'd dealt with her dad her whole life and learned to yield. About a month ago, my name was cleared. My SEL found the iPad in her son's 9M room. He confessed to taking it. He was afraid to say anything after my father-in-law's reaction. My father-in-law has never apologized. He acts like nothing happened. I was told I was welcome again, but I've declined for myself and my daughter. I'm not holding grudges. I saw who my father-in-law is. I don't want any involvement with him unless necessary. My daughter isn't allowed unsupervised visits with him. The situation is still a sore spot in my marriage. My wife won't talk about it. If I try, she says I'm bringing up the past. I'm just trying to express how it still affects me. She thinks I'm not working toward peace, but I believe I am. I need a fresh perspective. How do I move forward as healthily as possible for my marriage when I don't know where to step? Update. 7 days later, I 27M want to thank everyone for the support. The situation with my father-in-law 59M was extensive and largely unaddressed by my wife 29F. Not being able to talk to her made me realize I didn't know how to communicate with her anymore. My issue isn't just with my father-in-law, it's also with my wife. I'm not trying to connect with my FIL. My concern is my wife and daughter 4F. I can only control my actions and decisions for our daughter. Our marriage can't go on this way. It's not healthy for anyone, especially our daughter. I told my wife about the post, she read it and the comments. She wasn't happy, but she listened. I told her things needed to change. I wasn't trying to force her, but our marriage needed therapy or separation. She didn't take separation well. She said our vows should withstand this. I told her she abandoned those vows for her dad's sake. I was drowning while she stayed on his boat. She chose therapy. We found a therapist. I'm cautiously hopeful. I asked if she truly wanted this. She said she does and doesn't want to lose our family. It's not about staying just for our daughter. I want to try because I still love my wife. I know who she was outside her dad's shadow. She's the youngest in her family, and they hold on to her tightly. We moved closer to them because of her job, and she got pulled back into that fold. The smear campaign was our first big test. I want the best for her, with or without me. I hope therapy helps her rediscover herself and set boundaries. We married young, but I've always been sure about her. Marriage means choosing each other, even when it's hard. I don't know what therapy will bring. I just want to protect my daughter and rebuild a healthy family, whatever form that takes.